Those who have died before. What did it feel like and how did you die? Cardiac arrest at age 23. I did not realize what was happening but began to feel lightheaded and sat down, and then remember feeling an incredibly brief overwhelming peace and comfort, followed by absolute nothingness. My heart was kept going by CPR until paramedics came with a defibrillator. Becoming alert again at hospital was painful and brutal, which I think was mostly because CPR when done correctly is gnarly. A guy the first used to work with did a lot of sailing and actually drowned once before being resuscitated. He said that the last thing he remembered before going out was this feeling of absolutely peaceful serenity. Man, absolutely everyone is repeating, peaceful serenity. Kind of comforting, I guess. What are your thoughts on leashes for children? When my daughter was 2, she decided to run away from me for fun. She was looking behind at me while she ran towards a busy road. I was only a second or two away from her, but she was only a second or two away from the road. She'd caught me off guard, and she was determined to escape. At the time it wasn't clear to me if I could reach her before she reached the road even as I started running towards her. A friend of mine grabbed her maybe 2 toddlers' paces from the road and everything was fine. But had my friend not been there, the outcome might have been tragic. I wished I'd had a leash that day. I love my daughter with all my heart. She's been my world since she was born. But kids that age are basically like wild animals that don't understand many of even the most obvious of dangers, so I guess I'm all for anything that helps me to stop them from killing themselves in traffic. Also, they look really funny on a leash. Harambe would still be alive today. What should people avoid while traveling to Europe? Don't rent a car if you're going to stay at a major capital. It's not worth it. It's much better to use public transport and get an occasional Uber. In major cities, don't let anyone hand you anything such as flowers or whatever. Once it is in your hands, they start asking for money. They even gave a flower to one of my kids and then wouldn't take it back. Just set it on the ground and walk away. Should be obvious, but I'll say it anyway. Don't do the Hitler salute while in Germany. Not even as a joke, it's illegal. And Holocaust denial is illegal in 18 European countries. Street scammers in Paris. Anywhere really, I just mostly see it in Paris. Restaurants in touristy areas that have signs out front with pictures of the meals and the price featured prominently. Falling in canals and walking on bicycle paths if they come to the Netherlands. How did you spend your teen years? In my bedroom, making no noise and pretending I didn't exist. I've never felt more understood. Some parents don't want to be parents and make it the kids' problem. Gaming and masturbating. At school, where did you spend yours? As a chimney sweep? I am not spending them, but wasting them. Drunk and waking up in random fields, not a bother on me. I now shudder at my stupidity and wonder how I wasn't abducted or murdered. Melting face. Trying not to kill myself. Skateboarding. Street racing, punk rock shows. What is the dumbest controversy of the last decade? The rise in the number of flat earthers, and the fact that it is even controversial, is pretty fucking dumb. What controversy? The Earth is comprised of about 70% water. Uncarbonated water to be specific. I don't see how anyone could argue that Earth isn't flat. Is Obama's tan suit outside of this timeline? 'Cause that's my vote. Maybe dumbest controversy of the century. As a Christian, the Great Starbucks Christmas Cup controversy. Denying science, and using semantics as a valid argument. Telling someone the differences between possums and opossums is not controversial, it's just science. But no, people use semantics as an argument. Feeding poor schoolchildren versus letting them go hungry. No other controversy begins to compare. What color was the dress?